Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Greetings.
How are we doing today?
I don't know. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Same boat, same boat. Same boat, different battle. Well, today's pre-rolls brought to
No
you...
paddle.
What? No
No
paddle.
paddle.
And the boat's made of chicken wire. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by Sky Mall. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by Sky Mall on the downtown mall, 105 West Main Street, above the bricks, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, bud? And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research. You can find them right next to the Hidden Leaf, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall. Findable on Instagram at The Hidden Leaf, where you can also find our other two sponsors, Kush Gang Snacks, purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables, findable at KG Snacks 434 on Instagram, and Firehouse Organics, spelled with a Z. That's Firehouse with a Z Organics, findable on Instagram at Firehouse Organics. Again, with a Z. A quick note of disclaimer. We will probably be expressing opinions throughout the show. Opinions belong to the expresser of the opinion, not necessarily to the channel parent company. Oh, no, wait. To the expresser of the opinion, and possibly to us, the channel, the parent company, but not necessarily to any of our sponsors, including Hidden Leaf, Sky Mall, Kush Gang Snacks, and Firehouse Organics. Ha! Got there. Just an extra little bit of information, and the whole thing just gets weird. Alright. That's the ad read. Do we have anything? Oh. Stalking. Oops. Lurking. Well, you can stalk or lurk, either way. Yeah, I know. Sky Mall magazine used to be in almost every commercial airline. I'm aware of it. I would have chosen a different name had I been them. But I do not have any say in this matter. So I just go with the name they chose. And I get why they chose it. You get
Did you remember to
elevated as a
give
tagline.
the address for the Hidden Leaf?
105 West Main Street. On the bricks. Not above the bricks. Right next to Sky Mall, which is 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks. Yes, I gave all the addresses.
Just to make sure, we got those out there, repeatedly and practice saying them.
Yes.
That's confusing.
What?
On the bricks, above bricks, across from, next to.
Yep. They are
So if they were on the other side of the street, they could be below the bricks.
No. Below denounce closer to the gravitational center. And no matter where you are, the bricks are between Hidden Leaf Sky Mall and the gravitational center of the planet.
Yes.
So
Yes,
they
in that
are
technicality, I can see
above
that.
the
I'm thinking more
bricks.
of the specificity of the couple of shops that you actually go downstairs to visit on the mall.
Oh, there are some shops that are below the bricks.
Yep.
Not many. Although there are
No.
some. But,
I'm glad that you added of the planet when you were talking about the gravitational center. Because you said that. I'm just like, is this a place I need to go visit? This sounds interesting. Oh, okay. Is the gravitational center of the planet.
right.
Not some random science themed whatever.
Now, okay, now, if it... Oh, I want to go to the gravitational center. That sounds like fun.
In all honesty, we need to make a field trip to the Science Museum in Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, we do.
gravitational center. It's a trampoline gym / hookah lounge.
I mean, you'd be getting high 2 different ways there.
With meditation facilities, so you can get centered.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You can meditate on the sofas or you can meditate in the ball pit.
Now,
Oh, they have to have one of those giant fan free fall things.
Yes.
oh, I'd love that. Also, if I had not said of the planet, gravitational center of the planet, the gravitational center then would have become the gravitational center of the solar system, at which point there would be times when the bricks are above the hidden leaf, because the hidden leaf would then be between the bricks and the sun. During the day,
yeah.
basically, during the day. If you're talking about solar system wide up and down.
Well, you could also be talking about the gravitational center of the galaxy.
The
Or even the
galaxy.
universe.
I don't think there is a gravitational center of the universe. Gravitational center of the universe is out. When you look out, you're looking back in time. And by looking back in time, you're looking... When you look far enough back in time, you look at the Big Bang, which is the gravitational center of the universe, but it happened everywhere in the universe all at once. Same with inflation, which is the period of time when space grew at an exponential rate. And I believe grew faster than the speed of light, maybe? Although I'm not entirely sure. But that also didn't have a center. It happened everywhere. So the gravitational center of the universe would be everywhere all at once. All the time. Physics. Right. It just got very silent in here. I just said a lot of words and it got really quiet.
I mean, that's usually what happens.
Conversation starters. I specialize in conversation enders. All right, we are here to play along with Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. And this week they have the special guest, Phil Pritchad, who I know nothing about.
Sounds familiar.
Well, here is a picture of Pritchard holding the World, or not World Cup,
The Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup. I almost called it Winston Cup.
Oh, so we went to Target.
That's rude.
Rude. Well, all right. What do we think is going to be on the show today? Oh, God, everything. We've got 2 weeks with lots of news. So, oh, gosh, that reminds me. I forgot to start the, oh, man. All right. I forgot to start the charity.
Yeah. Have you been able to fix it so that you can do more donations?
It can take more donations. It can always take more donations. I have not yet fixed it so that I haven't yet made it pay out. I'm not sure if it needs more to pay out or if I just need to find where to click to make it pay out.
I heard something the other day. If it's going specifically to our local station, Radio IQ, their online ability to accept donations is down for the month.
I don't think it does. I think it's going to the to NPR National.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for anybody that listens locally and hasn't heard, their online ability is down for the month, but you can still call them and donate.
Yes, you can. All right. Let's see. Well, we do have the we've got the charity up and running, so you can also donate to NPR through our charity stream here.
The other day I thought of this one. Since RFK is infamous for randomly dismantling animal corpses.
Yes.
And being so extremely proud of it. I have thought of, or remembered, the theme song or what should be the theme song for the Make America Healthy Again movement.
Okay, what's that? Fish heads?
Fish heads, roly poly, fish heads, yum.
Saw that coming. Saw that coming. Yep, fish heads. I've been hanging out with you too long.
Huh?
And now, every time you see him come up, that's going to cross your mind.
I mean, fish heads weren't the furthest thing from my mind to begin with when I see him, because he looks like he smells like fish heads. But yeah, that song will now be in my head every time. Thank you.
It's your brainworm to go with him.
You. Brainworms. Well played, sir. Well played. Well, all right. Let's go ahead and start the show. Are y'all clicked in?
Program was taped in front of an audience of real live people.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm the man bring in when Bill...
Oh, also, hi Just Me Crystal, hi Darth Dragonis, hi Chris in the 386. Great to see you guys, thank you for being here.
Bring in when Bill Curtis gets busted for claiming Peter as a dependent. I'm Alzo Slade, and here's your host at the Studebaker Theater at the Fine Arts Building in Chicago, Illinois, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Alzo. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to all of you. Great to see you. We do Have a fine show for you today. Later on, we're going to be talking for the first time ever on our show to a professional escort. That's right, the man who was paid to escort the Stanley Cup. What did you think I meant? But first, it's your turn to come on and try to check me into the boards. Give us a call. The number is 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Let's welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
This is Jennifer. I live in Tampa, Florida. I am an ELCA Lutheran pastor. So.
I think, and I'm not sure about this, but the one person who was excited about Tampa was also the same person excited about you being a Lutheran. So maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe they're just really happy today. We don't know.
Yes.
Well, Jennifer, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to our panel this week. First, a comedian who'll be appearing at the White Rabbit Cabaret in Indianapolis, Indiana on Thursday.
All right. I don't know her personally, but Lutherans are some of the ones who have made America a difficult place to live if you are not a thin white man. And that's some of what we talk about on Tuesdays. And I don't know what the modern Lutheran church is like, but if I had to guess, it'd be a bunch of neoliberals. So I just wanted to weigh in on that real quick. Neoliberals, yes.
So their long black trench coat and nose-pinching sunglasses are actually rainbows?
No. Because they don't see color. And they also don't see the cultural differences that come with a variety of colors. Nor do they see the social context that being a rainbow of colors comes with. They are...
Fine. Take all the wind out of my joke.
Oh, no, I'm getting there. They are that monochrome, white-skinned, black clothes Neoliberals are this close to neoconservatives.
Just because the facial expression doesn't change much.
You know, I gotta say, and I've always made fun of Keanu Reeves, but looking back, I actually really like the person.
Mm-hmm.
And he is actually a pretty good actor for being Blue Steel like that.
Yep.
He's also not always completely a Blue Steel actor. He does have some facial, changes. You just have to go all the way back to Dangerous Liaisons and Bill and Ted to see them. Somewhere around Johnny Mnemonic, they deleted the facial expression files.
No, he had facial expressions in that, usually when he was trying to show off every single tooth in his head.
But yeah, he's...
You say that, and suddenly I think of him as a giant Pez dispenser, and his head just flips open, all the teeth visible.
I mean, the scene where he's got on the VR goggles and he's doing stuff. Yeah, that's about what he looks like.
Now I want a Johnny Mnemonic Pez dispenser. I used to collect Pez dispensers. Long time ago. Not that that has any bearing on anything. Anyway.
More people bought the Pez for the dispenser than they did for the damn candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, okay. That being said, I like Pez. I always have. I've always loved Pez. I think there was like maybe one or two flavors that I wasn't fond of, but for the most part, I like Pez. Part of this...
It's halfway between a Tic Tac and a Sweet Tart.
Yeah. It's like a Tic Tac Sweet Tart without mint. Now granted, as a kid, I didn't get a lot of candy. I didn't really have access to much candy until I was about 9 or 10. So any candy I got was a treat, and I automatically loved it. Yum yum sugar pressed chalk. But I don't like candy. Hey, Maddie, good to see you. Thank you for being here. My taste for sugar has diminished over the years. But as a kid, because it was such a rare treat, loved candy. And Pez was candy that came with a toy. Even as a kid, I hated candy. Interesting. Any reason why, or is it just never had the taste for it? Like 99% of candy. What's that? I love chocolate. Okay, see, yeah, chocolate's
That's fair.
Yeah. And as a kid, I also didn't get chocolate. I got carob. That is torture. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your family diet is. Don't give your kids carob instead of chocolate. If you're not going to give them chocolate, just don't give them chocolate. But don't.
What the hell's carob?
Exactly. It's a plant. I guess it's similar to cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've answered the question of animal, vegetable, or mineral.
Yes. It's similar to
It's a
cocoa.
chocolate substitute that does not use sugar or any dairy products to be processed. So therefore
Or
it is
chocolate.
a vegan-friendly chocolate substitute.
Or chocolate. It doesn't use cocoa.
Exactly. It's a vegan substitute of brown chalk that pretends to do chocolate things and does not do them very well. It especially does not do them very well if you're trying to make someone a vegan red velvet cake.
Oh, God. Wow. Oh, evil.
I was not making that. I was presented that.
You can vegan cook with cocoa, by the way, people. You can use cocoa to cook vegan food. Cocoa itself is not vegan.
I know. But I had a friend that was vegan, except for when you put a piece of salmon in front of her. and she decided to make me a red velvet cake for my birthday one year, and so it was vegan red velvet carob cake with vegan not cream cheese frosting. And it was all sugar free.
Oh my God!
'Cause that's what she had at home.
You're giving me flashbacks to the worst parts of my childhood. Oh my God! That sounds like crap the hippies would make.
Funny enough, she definitely grew up in one of the hippie communities out here.
Oh, so she got that recipe from the farm that I grew up on.
Maybe, not necessarily, because her
No.
farm is in a different county.
It doesn't matter. That recipe made its way around.
Yes, it did.
Maddie Holmes says some things like sweet tarts, but candy was always too much, especially if it was sticky and chewy and it sticks to one's teeth. I can understand that too. I am a fan of sweet tarts. Darth Dragonis says, why I stopped eating Butterfingers, too much cleanup versus enjoyment. That's why I like the Butterfinger bites, the little, like the fun-sized Butterfingers. Maddie says, giving carob to your kids as an alternative is the fastest way to tell me your kids will be in therapy in about 5 years. Yeah. Yep. Asking if your friend was pescatarian. But how can you be snooty and better than everyone else if you're actually enjoying mainstream foods like cocoa? Yeah, exactly. You know that recipe was in the Anarchist Cookbook? That explains it. That recipe made it sound like an STD. It is. I was kidding about the cookbook. See, I believed you though. It sounds right.
Yeah, I had.
Huh? What?
As I said, that recipe wasn't in the copy I had.
You didn't get the hippie version of the Anarchist Cookbook.
Oh, the one where they told you what sort of how to make the yarn for the tin cans that we're using to tap the phone lines, as opposed to using the recorded numbers or recorded tones to trick a payphone.
Yeah. To freak the phone. Yeah. All right, we better press play before this keeps going off the rails. Like yesterday. Classic freaking. Yup.
Everybody got their pen and paper?
Yepers.
Annapolis, Indiana, on Thursday, April 23rd. It's Adam.
What was that?
Maddie's talking about the Peace Corps cookbook.
Oh, that. Okay. I
We're
need
gonna
to know
need to
more
see
about
getting
this.
photocopies of that later.
Yeah, I need to know more about the Peace Corps cookbook. This sounds really interesting to me.
Sounds drastically different than the other cookbook.
It really does.
It's written by engineers. There is no difference.
It's written by who?
Engineers.
Oh, there is no difference. Very funny.
I mean, Peace Corps cookbook sounds like an actual cookbook.
It does.
And I'm sticking with my statement.
Cookbook written by engineers. I got it in the Peace Corps. Every country is different. Interesting. I mean, I kind of figured you got it in the Peace Corps. What was it like being in the Peace Corps? This would be similar to the ones I had. Kitchen Resource Guide.
Yes, yes. And they do give
Oh.
the Idiot's Guide to How to Measure Stuff. I love that.
Measurements and conversions, timing, cooking in Morocco, Morocco flavor. Ah, overview of Moroccan spices. Ooh. Oh, this is where there is no fridge. Where no fridge has gone before.
Yeah.
All right, so the cooking philosophy. Cooking is like chemistry or algebra. Things need to balance out. What are these things? They're the quantities used in cooking with regard to flavor and chemistry and consistency. When looking at a recipe, note the foundation of the recipe: flour, protein, baking powder, liquids. These are the basics for your concoction. Now look at how the recipe enhances flavor: sugar, salt, herbs, spices, and cheese, for example. The ingredients listed are suggestions from the author-creator of the recipe. After you get the hang of cooking, you can begin to look at recipes and use them simply as guidelines to create your own version. You can also decipher if you really need an ingredient or not. Many times you can do without something, such as Parmesan cheese, capers, dill, wine, or vanilla, because the recipe uses this ingredient merely for flavor. It also could be substituted, and you will find a list of substitutions in this section. Knowing the foundation of knowing the basics: sweet, sour, spicy, hot, bland, subtle, and consistency. You can balance the basics to your own taste and preference. If you like chewy cookies, you will learn that chewiness comes from more fats and liquids. Conversely, adding more solids, flour, will make the same cookie recipe more cake-like. In any unbalanced recipe, there are ways to remedy and balance your dish for optimal flavor and favorable end results. Oh, this is pretty cool. Complicated. There's like recipes for cleaning supplies. Wow. You can tell this was written for upper class American kids going into Peace Corps. Here's how to substitute capers. Go down to sauces and dips. All right. Let's see, where was that?
I'm thrilled with the fact that they have a recipe on how to make mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that is 23. Let's see. Sauces and dips. Apple chutney, applesauce, basic meat sauce, barbecue sauce, chili relleno sauce, falafel hot sauce, goat cheese sauce. Oh yeah.
Well, are you sure you've got the clearance to show this on Twitch? It seems a little bit saucy.
Always smooth cheese sauce. Ooh.
Yep. Air fresheners, deodorizers, cleaning agents, stain removers, metal polishes.
Oh, is that
Did you get
in
my favorite one in there?
sauces and dips, or is that just in other stuff?
Yep. Yep. They've got one of my favorite ones for polishing copper.
Coriander chutney sounds good. Oof. Looks good, too. Sometimes you're in an area where it might be hard to get certain ingredients or full kitchens. A lot of these were submitted by outgoing volunteers who figured out how to make American meals with local stuff. I love that. Ketchup.
Ketchup. Like, why don't we catch up with Wait, Don't Tell Me?
Oh, yeah, we're doing that, aren't we? Ketchup was at a premium. I'm not surprised. All right, so, yeah, back to the game. We haven't even started the game yet.
Not really.
It's Adam Burke.
Hi, nice to meet you, Jennifer. Hi.
Hi.
Next up, you can see here April 23rd through the 26th at Rooster T. Feathers in San Jose, California, and May 8th at the Hollywood Improv with the Netflix is a Joke Festival. It's Dulce Sloan.
Hey, Dulce.
Hello.
Maddie says we'd hit up McDonald's in Rabat and everyone loaded up on packets.
And a comedian you can see at Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California, April 24th. And the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas, April 27th through May 3rd. It's Alonzo Bowden.
Hello, Alonzo.
So, Jennifer, Reverend Jennifer, welcome to the show. You're going to play Who's Alzo this time. Alzo Slade, filling in for Bill Curtis, is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. If you can correctly identify or explain just 2 of them, you will win our prize. Any voice from our show you might choose for your voicemail. Are you ready to go?
Okay.
Here is your first quote, Jennifer. It's from the president attacking a new rival this week.
The Pope.
He's very weak on crime.
Apparently, President Trump was upset about the high crime rate
Pope.
in Vatican City as he took on who this week?
Pope Leo.
Yes, the Pope. Or to use his technical title, the Pope.
The Pope.
Yes, the president got into a beef with the Pope about the war in Iran, but who knew that the Pope was weak on crime? That was surprising. It also raises the question, do we want a tough on crime Pope? Like he takes your confession and instead of 7 Hail Marys, he gives you the death penalty?
Right?
And I gotta say, if President Trump thinks the Pope is weak on crime, wait till he finds out about the Buddha.
If you wanted any proof to dump...
Right, Maddie. How hasn't SNL done Da Bears, Da Pope skit yet? I mean, other than we don't have George Wendt. That was a large part of that, and I'm not sure. Right. If Leo showed up to do a Da Bears skit, it would be insane. Chicago would lose their collective mind.
Okay. I would lose my mind if the Pope actually showed up on SNL. That just doesn't seem right.
I don't know. I can see it. Jason Sudeikis is George Wendt's nephew or the Pope's nephew? But yeah, dude, put in Jason Sudeikis. Wendt's nephew. Sudeikis is George Wendt's nephew? Whoa, okay. Okay, so like, I don't dislike Jason Sudeikis, but I feel like he tends to very much play sort of the same character over and over again. Leo was literally inspired to become a priest due to the Blues Brothers. Oh
That picture we saw last week,
I'm
that
on a
makes sense.
mission from God. That's why he made the Blues Brothers reference.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I also love that in one of his speeches, instead of quoting the Bible, he quoted Samuel L. Jackson.
What?
Yeah. Yes, I did see Ted Lasso. I've not seen all of Ted Lasso. In one of the post speeches responding to Trump, he used the Samuel L. Jackson Pulp Fiction furious anger.
Oh, that was possibly in response to Hegseth doing a prayer and quoting what was supposed to be out of Ezekiel.
Which was a quote from Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, then I'm getting them mixed up. Then. Okay.
No, you could be getting them mixed up, and you could be right as well.
It was so much cringe. Pulp Fiction or Ted Lasso? Pulp Fiction made me cringe a lot. Yeah, he was trying to do the Pulp Fiction bit. Yeah, it was a lot of cringe. Jason Sudeikis, I feel like in Ted Lasso, really did get a chance to stretch has had a great chance to stretch his acting muscle. And I do feel like Ted Lasso is the exception that shows us what Sudeikis is really capable of. When he did the bit in Ted Lasso where he went from being the nice happy guy to being the angry coach that you all hear about, the angry and toxic coach, it was an amazing transformation, not just of the character but also for the actor. So yeah, I do take back what I said about Jason Sudeikis. I keep forgetting that was him in Ted Lasso. I keep picturing We Are the Millers. The getting angry coach, yeah. Was it in the original ad campaign? I did not know that. All right. We've gotten one question down. Let's try again.
Trump knows nothing about history. He's starting a beef with an Italian guy from Chicago.
Exactly.
That never ends well.
No, it doesn't.
Italian guys from Chicago love beef.
It's true. It's true. And thinking about it, though, but actually, we thought about it. It'd be cool if the Pope did fight crime, right? It'd be exciting. Like coming to Netflix this summer. Only Murders in the Conclave.
They've already had murders in the Conclave.
That's true. Yeah.
That's how we kept getting new popes.
Yeah.
Does Trump think he's weak on crime? Because the last time I was in the Vatican, there was a bunch of guys nailed to wooden crosses everywhere. Pope didn't do anything about it.
So he starts this beef with the Pope, and then he decides to just throw some fuel in the fire. He posts a picture of himself as Jesus healing the sick. And when he was criticized for this, he insisted...
An Italian who also has black ancestry.
Yeah. He's not supposed to be Jesus in the picture, don't you see? He's a doctor. That's what he said. Because whose doctor doesn't wear flowing white robes and treat you with glowing beams of light emanating from his hand?
Well, that's the Republican health plan they've been
right
working
there, yeah.
on.
That's all you're going to get. Jennifer, here is your next quote.
Okay. Just take 2 aspirin, you'll be fine.
That advice was given to a patient who was in fact suffering a serious medical condition. It was part of a study showing you should not ask what
AI.
For medical advice.
AI.
AI.
I'm going to say AI, but perhaps I need a hint.
No, you were right.
Different.
AI,
okay.
Chatbots, ChatGPT.
When you said
Everybody's
RFK,
doing it,
I
but they
was scared
shouldn't.
for a
New
moment,
research
'cause you might
says
be
if
right.
you give AI chatbots just 1 or 2 symptoms of something bothering you, they will fail to give you the right diagnosis 80% of the time. Either they will, as that one did,
Yep.
dismiss a serious disease as nothing, or say a minor complaint means you just have days to live. Robots are stealing other robots' jobs. Telling me I'm going to die is WebMD's thing.
Yes.
The head of Health and Human Services is wrong 90% of the
That's
time.
true. So it's an improvement.
So, and he's certainly not a doctor.
That's right.
I mean, they're clearly trying to destroy us.
They're
right?
trying- yes, I know.
They're just like, it'll be fine.
Have you guys ever done this? I know a lot of people actually use ChatGPT and are very happy with it. Have you ever tried it?
I used it.
What'd you do use it for?
Yeah, I asked it for health advice.
And what'd you get?
Yeah, it told me that I was going through perimenopause.
Does explain the moon swings. Now, of course, the way the chatbots do is they just suck up all the information of the internet and they use predictive technology to figure out what to say. So, this is true. A researcher in Sweden
Sorry,
uploaded
forgot to add the
a
junior
fake
on there.
paper she wrote
That's
describing
okay.
a completely made-up illness called Bixonomania, including thanks to, and I quote, researchers at Starfleet Academy and funding from the Sideshow Bob Foundation. In the paper. And sure enough, within a year, chatbots were telling people all over the world that they had Bixomania. The amazing part, Bixomania is what the Trump Jesus doctor was curing in that picture.
That explains
So
it.
Chat GPT is just a telephone psychic?
Kinda, sorta.
They have no information. They have absolutely nothing. So it's just Miss Cleo?
Well, sorta,
No,
kinda.
no, because ChatGPT does not cost 99 cents a minute.
That's true.
Also, Miss Cleo, I have my reasons to believe Miss Cleo is an actual real psychic. That time I said, if I need a psychic, they'll call me. And then Miss Cleo called me.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Miss Cleo way more than I trust ChatGPT.
Of course, you shouldn't trust a cat fart.
Right.
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Miss Cleo calls. Wakes me up. Pick up the phone. Miss Cleo calling. Oh, hell no. Click. 5 minutes later. Bam, bam, bam. Open up. It's the police. Oh, she was right. Out the window, down the drain pipe.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. I have my reasons to believe that Miss Cleo was right. Was a psychic. If I ever need a psychic, they'll call me. Then one calls me and I hang up.
All right, here, Jennifer, is your last quote.
Okay.
Stuff always gets left behind. I didn't have to pay for eggs for a hot minute.
That was someone quoted in the Washington Post about why they like to eat the food people leave behind where?
At a restaurant?
Not at a restaurant. That would be creepy, walking
airport?
around, waiting for people to leave a table, diving in before the busboy can get there. Yeah, I've done it, but I'm not recommending it. No,
Can you give me a hint?
yeah, well, apparently they are supposed to clean between guests, but sometimes they don't check the fridge.
Hotels.
Oh, in a hotel.
Well, close, in an Airbnb, right?
Oh,
More and more
nice.
people are booking private vacation rentals, right? There's a growing debate as that happens about whether or not you should eat the leftovers you find in the fridge. Some people think that's gross. Other people are like, oh, great, free baba ganoush. I think.
Wouldn't it depend on, like, if it's just like, oh, there's a bag of oranges.
Right.
I could see somebody doing that as opposed
Right.
to,
Hey,
oh, there's
Lockpick,
chicken
thank
wings
you
and four
for
of them
the
got a bite out of it.
subscription.
Yeah.
25
Actually, you know
months.
who apparently
Thank
eats
you.
a lot of it are the owners of the Airbnb. That's
And
part of,
then
I guess, a
Lockpick
perk of being a
happened.
landlord. One guy complained to the Post that his family wouldn't eat the leftovers he brought home from his rental, which he said recently included lobster mac and cheese. Come on, kids, it's just old cheese and shellfish other people has breathed on. It's great. Now there are certain food items you know you're always going to find in a vacation rental, like your old vegetable oil, an unusably small amount of pancake mix. It's all useless. On the other hand, if you are going to make a recipe that calls for nothing but bay leaves, you are in business.
Yes! Odd spices that don't connect. It's like cinnamon and marjoram. I don't know what I'm supposed to make.
Yeah.
You can't put I can't put this on a chicken. Kind of weird cinnamon chicken? I'm not that
No
lady.
cinnamon chicken.
You
for me.
can, and then leave it for the Airbnb owner
That'll teach him.
and ruin his night.
Right. Also, how did Jennifer do in our quiz?
She got a perfect score, 3 out of 3.
Congratulations, Reverend.
Yay!
All right, now, marjoram and cinnamon, I think I could do something with that. I actually think I could do something with that. Not necessarily chicken. Although
What?
maybe
And cinnamon?
Huh? Yeah, marjoram.
What?
It's a very subtle herb. It's really, really subtle. It's
Would you say it's buttery?
no.
See, that's the problem.
Nor would I
I'm
say
not familiar with this herb,
it's
and I thought people are mispronouncing
Raceland.
margarine.
Nor would I say it's Raceland or Cameron. There's an old school reference for you. If you get that deep cut, I am with you. The reason I tried it is because it showed up in a Dragonlance novel. It was, I think, the second or third trilogy. It's the one where Raceland and Cameron, the brothers, go off together. They're like their together adventure when they go back in time. And they use marjoram on the chicken because their last name is so similar. It's like margarine or something. So this is some old Dragonlance stuff.
I vaguely remember that particular trilogy, but I don't remember having read much of it. It's more a case of, oh look, something else to put on the shelf and not get around to reading just yet.
I read all of it. I read the whole arc. That whole big arc for those characters. For the whole like original Dragonlance characters. Including the short story about the dagger that died, unfortunately. It was supposed to kill Tasselhoff Barefoot, but it ended up in an orc. I think it was a piercer that was masquerading as a dagger. So yeah, I mean, I read a lot of those old TSR novels. I also read I read most of the Drizzt cycle. Like I read the first 3 books, the Icewind Dale trilogy, then I read the Drizzt books themselves, the 3 about him, and then I think I read the next 2 of the Icewind Dale trilogy, and Wolfgar sort of turned evil, and I was like, you know what? I'm not good with this. I'm okay. And that was also the point at which I started moving into reading a much more classical literature, including classic sci-fi literature. and classic, sort of more classic fantasy literature. So yeah, it was. I guess that was somewhere in my senior year in high school, and I switched over to doing to literature instead of pulp fictions. But looking back, some of the writing in those old TSR novels was actually really good. So, all right. But marjoram and cinnamon. Marjoram has a slightly, it's not citrusy, but it's a sort of a bright flavor. I think if you mix marjoram and cinnamon, you need to put in butter. Or margarine. To bring it back to the joke you were trying to make.
That would be an instant messenger.
What?
Oh, just something that's instant messenger.
Okay. I'm not going to check. I don't want to know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Okay.
You do.
Hey,
Thank you so much for playing.
it was very fun. Thank you very much.
Take care.
That feeling's gone, that burning flame, the one that tricked me time again, that drove me wild with grit and pain, that made me change my town and name. I'm not hungry anymore. I'm not hungry.
Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about this week's news. Alonzo, big news in cheese making. Thanks, I know it's exciting. Thanks to a change in the law in Switzerland, the makers of traditional Swiss cheese will now be able to add artificial what to their cheeses?
Holes?
Yes,
Carbonation.
holes. In recent years, holes have started disappearing from traditional Swiss cheese, something I learned
think
from my
carbonation counts.
holes Google alert.
Yeah,
Turns out,
I'm so mad. A hole can't disappear. A hole is the disappearance of the thing that the hole is replacing. I'm
Wait.
about to lose my mind.
let me attempt to explain. It turns out, in traditional Swiss cheese making, the holes in the cheese are caused by tiny particles of hay from the milk barn that gets into the milk. And with modern automatic milking technology, those little particles don't occur, right? So Swiss cheesemakers want the holes back, but not from the guy who keeps showing up at the factory saying, "I'll do it, no questions asked." So they went to court in Switzerland and won the right to create their own holes artificially, and it's still Swiss cheese. I love that at some point in this saga, somebody pounded his fist in the table and said, "Get me the best damn cheese lawyer money can buy."
I love that Switzerland basically sat out World War I and II, but this they finally take a stance.
Yeah, we gotta get the holes back.
Somebody ring the cheese alarm. Oh, please.
Thank you, everybody. Right now it is time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play our game on the air. Hi, you're on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm still working on the missing holes in the Swiss cheese. I mean, okay. I get that it's iconic. Because it's, that's how you draw cheese. You put holes in a little triangle. A little wedge. You draw holes in a little wedge, and that's cheese. Swiss cheese is the iconic representation of cheese. right?
So you're saying you can't have Swiss cheese if you're Eastern Orthodox?
Mm-hmm.
No. What?
Because of no icons.
Then no, if you're Eastern Orthodox, you can't have Swiss cheese because it's iconic. He had not right. Does that make it whole cheese? Holy cheese. That's the reason if you're Eastern Orthodox, you're allowed to eat Swiss cheese, but only if it is that way, because then it's holy cheese.
Right. Right.
So, no,
okay.
but for iconic reasons, I see why they want the holes in the cheese. For image reasons, right?
Right.
But also, like, I don't know. I've always felt like I was getting cheated when I got Swiss cheese. Because there were large chunks of cheese missing.
That's always been things like, why... All right, have something that puts your holes back, but don't have something that puts holes in there that are like the size of a quarter or better. It feels like you're getting cheated out of the cheese that you're buying.
Right. Holy whole, non-holy cheese. Makes sense. Exactly. Holy whole, non-holy cheese.
That's horrible.
Why not just rename that specific style? Because I think the Swiss will still go to war over it. What we don't know is that the Swiss have implanted tiny devices in all of our Swiss Army knives to make them come alive and take over. How can you be... Well, okay. The holes do weigh something. Because the air in the hole does have weight, and because it is captured within the frame of reference, it does have weight as compared to the rest of the cheese. However, you're right. When you're paying for cheese by weight, you're not getting cheated. Not really. But when you put a slice of Swiss on a sandwich, that slice of Swiss isn't actually by weight. What?
You put a slice of Swiss on a sandwich and it looks like a dark picture frame.
Yeah, exactly. It can be constructed Swiss cheese. Oh, well, I guess then you're also paying for atmospheric pressure. I mean, yeah, whenever you buy something, you should buy it from as high... Whenever you buy something by weight, you should buy it from as high an altitude as possible. It can be constructed Swiss cheese. I get pre-sliced cheese, and it is sold by the slice. It feels like a cheat. Okay.
It's not sold by weight. It's sold, you get 10 or 15 slices in a bag or whatever, because that's all I need of that particular cheese for whatever recipe I'm needing. You're supposed to make roll-ups with this stuff, and you've got, more hole than cheese to do your roll-up with. And it's like, next time I'm just going to go shred this stuff and not deal with this.
Yeah,
even if that's more work.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, I also don't particularly like Swiss cheese in general. So this is a purely academic rant for me.
That's fair.
But I felt like ranting about holes in cheese.
That's okay. You can.
The weight on pre-sliced is an average. That would make sense too.
Hello, Hannah in Austin, Texas. What do you do there?
What?
I find this rant wholly unnecessary.
I am a registered nurse, turned private practicing licensed massage therapist, and end-of-life doula.
So if I were dying for a massage, you would definitely be the person.
Yes, lockpick, that's
to
it.
go to.
Exactly.
I am unholy.
Well, Hannah, welcome to the show. You're going to play our game in which you must try to tell truth from fiction. Also, what is Hannah's topic?
You blew it.
As the great philosopher Eminem said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This week, somebody had a chance to do something amazing, but came up short. Our panelists are going to tell you about it. Pick the one who's telling the truth, and you'll win the Wait Waiter of your choice in your voicemail. Are you ready to play?
I am.
You are? Okay, well then let's play.
Is someone who thinks about fried, oh, I had the word just a second ago. Fried hummus a falafel-fer?
Okay, well then let's play. Let's start then with Alonzo Bowden.
Wannabe influencer Alan Lane bought a computer from Brandon Terrell on Facebook. He deleted the computer's memory, a bunch of math and maps, to edit videos of him smoking a cigar for his brand. He figured he'd get rich on millions of views. Now he has videos of him crying at the idea of losing millions of dollars. The former owner of the computer, Brandon Terrell Sr., spent a lifetime researching the Bermuda Triangle and had it figured out. He had researched wind and water currents, the times and temperatures of when things disappeared. Terrell believes that his research could have led to a fortune in sunken treasure. So Terrell Jr. sold the computer thinking all the data was backed up to iCloud.
Oh.
Lockpick with the spray bottle. No! Head not right. Didn't know one could develop a lisp that fast.
Up to iCloud, but he forgot to pay Apple the $3 monthly fee for extra storage, so it all vanished the day the new owner erased it. Once he realized what had happened, he joined forces with the new owner. Lane smokes his cigars to views while Terrell tries to rebuild his computers from memory so he can make them both rich.
A man almost acquired the secret to untold riches at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle, but erased it all. Your next story of a big chance comes from Dulce Sloan.
We've all met up with friends after a work event and still had our work stuff with us, like a laptop, a suitcase full of comedy merch, or a Fabergé egg. That's what happened to Rosie Dawson, who was entrusted to show the Fabergé egg and matching watch to potential buyers by her employer, the Kraft Whiskey Company. When she was unable to sell the pieces, she did what anyone would do after a hard day at work. She put the egg in her bag and went to the pub. Enter Enzo Conticello, a run-of-the-mill pickpocket, who noticed Dawson's $2,000 Givenchy handbag on the floor. So he stole it, like he was supposed to. Because who puts a $2,000 bag with a Fabergé egg in it on the floor of a bar? Now, what does a petty thief do with a Fabergé egg? Well, he's a regular person who doesn't know what it is. So he traded the bag and everything in it for cocaine. He didn't find out the value of his thievery was about $2.7 million until he was in court. Do you know how much cocaine you can buy with $2.7 million? Now, I have no idea. I'm a good Christian woman. But I'm sure it's a lot.
A thief steals a purse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Givenchy. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Takes out the money and cards and throws away the Fabergé egg inside. Your last story of somebody coming up short comes from Adam Burke.
It's considered one of the greatest missed opportunities in sports history. Boston Red Sox owner Harry Frazee sells Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees in 1920 for $100,000, ushering in an 84-year World Series drought for the Sox, propelling the Yankees to huge success.
I'm obviously behind on my fashion brands recently, on my high-end bags. I have not been keeping up with high-end fashion like I really should be. I know. This does not scream high-end fashion, but I really should at least be keeping up with the names and some of the looks.
But Trevor, no matter what you do, you are in high fashion.
Yes, I am. There's enough weed smoke stuck to all of my clothes. Oh, the lady said it weird, not me. Oh, okay.
I mean, she was probably saying it weird on purpose to make it sound weird.
Maybe. Is Dulce Sloan?
I
Maybe.
think so.
Anyway, I still don't know what the Givenchy. I don't know that is a new. That's a new brand name on me.
Huge success and making Ruth a baseball legend. It's also a pivotal moment in a new musical about the Bambino.
It's like
entitled
Prada.
simply
Okay.
Babe! Which began production earlier this year in Boston.
I'm gonna need
That was
to-
until Walt Gassman, the
to look
play's
up
chief
its,
financial backer, dropped into rehearsals and witnessed some of the show's so-called hit
I'm gonna need to
numbers,
look it up.
such as I'm Not Throwing Away My Shot, But I Am Calling It, A Whole New World series, and Ho 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 Where the Murderers Row.
Ho, 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 where the murderers row. I stopped because Lockpick's comment was funny, but man, I paused at the right time. I saw Pradas at the zoo. They were eating bamboo.
Oh my.
It's always fun chaos when Lockpick is here.
And decided he had a stinker on his hands. Enter Janice Keller, an aspiring impresario from the Bronx, who upon hearing Gassman complain about the show at a function, offered to buy it from him. All the things he hated, I adored, says Keller, like when the sick kid flies in on his hospital bed, magic. And then a case of life imitating art, imitating life. Boston's loss has been New York's gain, with the play becoming an instant camp classic off Broadway and quickly making its money back. I guess Boston won't win a Tony anytime soon, groused Gassman.
All right.
All right.
These are your three
We
stories
know
of
that
a
it's-
lost opportunity. Was it
We know
from
it's B.
Alonzo Bowden, a guy who bought a computer and erased it before he realized on it was the secret to untold sunken treasure? From Dulce Sloan,
like
a thief
A,
who
but
grabbed a purse and threw it away,
know it
not
was B.
realizing he had just thrown away a $2.5 million Fabergé egg inside. Or from Adam Burke, the story of Babe Ruth being sold from Boston to New York is recapitulated again in a musical about Babe Ruth being sold by Boston to New York. Which of
Givenchy made Audrey Hepburn's black dress in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. That gives me an image to work with. That's a pretty classic. That's a pretty classic thing right there.
Which of these is the real story of a lost opportunity?
I like A, by the way, but I know it's B.
I have to pick Dulce. It seems like the human thing to do.
The human thing to do, because who would think, picking up a purse, that there's a Fabergé egg inside? All right, you chose Dulce's story. Well, we spoke to a reporter who covered the real story.
He takes her Givenchy handbag and she realizes, oh my gosh, my Fabergé egg has been stolen.
That was the Telegraph's Lauren Sheriff talking about the stolen/not stolen Fabergé egg in London. Congratulations, Hannah. You got it right. You're into point for Dulce. You've won our prize. The voice of anyone you might choose for your voicemail. Thank you so much for playing with us today. Take care.
What was that?
I'm surprised this lady has not been offered a position by Trump. Because that's the level of incompetence the rest of his administration aspires to.
True.
It really is. Oh my God. It just strikes me as well, how old was this woman, is my question. It seems like the kind of mistake I could have made when I was younger, but even then, with something that important, not enough alcoholic Christian nationalism.
It was at a bar.
Yeah. But still not the Christian nationalism that he needs.
You're not making it any better.
Sounds like the plot to a Sex and the City epis. Yeah. Yep. I'm just saying, and I'm just saying, whatever level of... It was incredibly irresponsible of her, and of course something awful like that's going to happen if she does something irresponsible like that. And they shouldn't have somebody that irresponsible looking after something like a Fabergé egg. It also seems like the level of irresponsibility I could have been capable of at one point in my life. Which, really, I am still too irresponsible to really be trusted with a Fabergé egg. I mean, granted, I have one, but it is tucked up away, and it's not a real Fabergé egg. It's, not Fabergé. But
the only thing I really have to wonder about this is what kind of omelet you can make with that.
Green eggs and ham, since it was green and meant for the Irish whiskey thing.
Also, none. The eggs are empty. They don't leave the egg in the eggshell when they do that. Were you dealing with a Farberware egg?
I mean...
yeah, I guess I am. It's off-brand. It's off-brand Fabergé.
Right.
Yeah, no, you don't leave the egg. You don't leave the egg inside the eggshell when you do something like that. You take that out and then you decorate the egg. Decorate the eggshell.
You're just taking the wind out of all my jokes.
I'd be awful to
That's very
sail
good,
with.
but that's beside the point.
What?
Not that the jokes are any good, but that's beside the point.
Really? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm a joke killer today. I am just awful.
I think we'll live.
I'm the person you don't want on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Take the wind out of everything.
All right, Albatross.
There it is. Yeah, I'm the albatross around your neck. Wow, that says so much about our friendship right there. Not sure how I feel about that. Let's move on.
Into the fridge and pulled out an egg. Scoped on the scopes, he had no hair. Lost that shot, he was caught out.
And now the game we call Not My Job. The National
Ross.
Hockey League playoffs begin next week, and the winning team won't get their own version of the Stanley Cup, the championship trophy, because there is only one. Each member of the winning team, though, will get to have that one trophy for one day before it goes back on display. And that means somebody has to escort it safely from place to place. And that somebody is Phil Pritchad, a longtime employee of the Hockey Hall of Fame and the official guardian of the one and only Stanley Cup. And he joins us now. Phil Pritchad, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. So,
what was that?
You mean all the ones they sell at Target are a knockoff?
Yep. It's not the real Stanley Cup.
While he's talking, I'm going to run off for a bio break.
I wanted to take a moment and say this guy looks like, he definitely looks like his name is Phil Pritchard. He looks like he plays rugby for, he looks like he plays rugby for a London team, for a London weekend team.
I was thinking he just looked like a heavyset Owen Wilson.
No, oddly enough, looks like he hasn't had his nose as broken as Owen Wilson. I have a friend whose dad is the spitting image of Stan Lee. They actually met and took a picture together. Oh, that is cool. I think you've told us that story before. I think. And that's pretty neat. All right.
First, a fact check. Is that correct, that hockey is the only major sport that does not give the trophy to the team to keep? They get to hold it up in the air and have it for a while, but then they have to give it back.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty amazing tradition, Peter. The team wins it, obviously, in late June, and they get it for 100 days, which means everybody on the team gets an opportunity to take it home.
Right.
Not only the players, the
That makes
coaches,
sense,
the
Maddie.
trainers, the equipment managers, the staff. Everyone gets time with it because it's a team event.
Right. And so do you know how that tradition began? Was it like they didn't have the money to make a new trophy every year?
Well, you know what? You look at that trophy, it's 3 feet high, it's 38 pounds, it's pure silver. I think it's beautiful enough, you only want one of them. Nothing against the other sports traditions, they do a great job of it, but none of it is like the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have the money.
They didn't have the money, yeah.
Thanks, Aldo.
Yeah, they didn't have the money.
And this has been your job for a long time. You are the guy who brings the cup to the game, who gives it to the winning team, then takes it and brings it to each member of that team. That's your job.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing summer.
He looks like if England had a hockey team. He looks like he would be on the team if England had a hockey team. That's what it is. He does not sound like he looks, though. That voice is all nasal. there is like no bass in his voice, and I just did not expect it.
Pretty amazing summer because I only hang out with winners, so it's pretty good.
Wow. please tell me you have that on a T-shirt. How did you get that job, Phil? What skills did you bring to it?
When he was little, he said, "That's what I want to be when I grow up."
Also, I don't think anyone ever says that. They want to win it. They want to bring it home to mom and dad. I didn't plan on bringing it to someone else's mom and dad. That didn't really work out that way.
He's the opposite of
You know
the
what's
first lady.
amazing, though? I took a sports administration course in college, and
He's the opposite of what?
Of the purse lady from the previous story.
Exactly. He's the only person responsible enough to be trusted with a Fabergé egg.
one thing led to another, and working at the Hockey Hall of Fame, the game was evolving and it became more and more an international sport, more than just North Americans, players from all around the world. So it began the effect of trying to, how do we get this trophy out there to everybody? And yours truly put up his hand and said, why don't we take it round and let everyone celebrate it with it for a day? So I think we've been to 31 countries with it around the world now.
Wait a minute, you just told me something I hadn't heard, which is that you came up with the idea of every member of the winning team getting it for one day?
Well, also and I did, actually.
Okay.
You know what it was? It was like, we got to figure out a way to get our Sky Miles up. So,
yeah. So you said, I have an idea. Let's get it out in the world. Let's let every player and other associate of the winning team have it for a day. And then somebody said, well, that's ridiculous. Some idiot would have to pick up the damn thing and fly around the world with it for 100 days. Where are we going to find that fool? And
here's the idiot right here.
All right. Over the years,
I was part of a whole team that came up with that idea, and I mean, a little biased here, but I think it's one of the greatest traditions there is in sport because they get the chance to take it home to their hometown and celebrate with their family and friends.
Okay. We on this show over the years have occasionally mentioned, when it's made the news, some of the weirder things that the players especially have done with the cup during that precious day when it's in their possession. What are some of the weirdest things you've seen?
Wow. We've been water skiing on Sea-Doos with it. We've been in sauna parties in northern Finland. We've been mountain climbing in the Rocky Mountains.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. A player says to you, all right, it's my I'm assuming it's a player. They get a lot of blows to the head. He says, I'm going to take the Stanley Cup. I'm going to tuck it under my arm. I'm going to get on my Sea-Doo, my jet ski type thing, and I'm going to scoot out across the ocean or lake holding it. And you say,
make sure it's got a life jacket on. Water safety is important.
Okay.
Has anyone ever offered you some cash to keep it a couple extra days? Or?
Great question.
A lot of cash, guys.
Wait.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are well paid, so I imagine that they're like, hey, I got some friends.
I read that as beers.
That's what I meant.
But all of a sudden, I want to know, how many different bears has it held? But I think the fair question is, how many bears have held it? Don't do that again, Trevor. Don't ever do that again. Please, for everybody's sake, don't do that again.
Haven't seen it yet. That has happened?
It has. Have you seen the shirt I have on? I'm not well paid.
Yeah. But you've resisted the temptation.
I've never taken a bribe.
Let me ask you a question. I know that you played hockey. Well, you're Canadian. It's obvious you played hockey as a young man. You had aspirations. So presumably, like all Canadian kids, you dreamed of the Stanley Cup yourself.
Yeah.
And given your job, have you ever imagined or planned what you would do were you to get the cup to yourself, as one of the players or team members do? What would you do?
You think if I had the chance to have it for a day, you mean?
Yeah.
I think for me, I would bring it back into my backyard and have an open house and, of course, an open bar.
Sure.
We'd have a party.
Yeah, why not?
Was anyone else expecting long walk on the beach?
Yeah. The hell with them. Well, Phil Pritchard, it's a pleasure to have you here, and we have, in fact, invited you to play a game that we've come up with that we are calling
Let's Go Visit the NHL.
By which we mean National Historic Landmarks. We're going to ask you we're going to ask you three questions about this list of interesting sites that make up the other NHL. And if you get two right, you'll win our prize from one of our listeners, the voice of any person on our show they might choose for their voicemail. Also, who is Phil Pritchard of the Hockey Hall of Fame playing for?
Sam Chang of San Carlos, California.
All right. So here's your first question.
All right, Sam, let's do this.
All right, here's your first question. There is a long list you can find at the Department of the Interior website of National Historic Landmarks around the country, and one of the great things about it is the variety. It's not just old houses and battlefields. The list also includes which of these? A, the birthplace of Saran Wrap. B, the nation's first Claire's store. Or C, the Fresno, California Municipal Sanitary Landfill.
Whoa. I'm going with A, Saran Wrap.
You're going to go the birthplace of Saran Wrap.
I'm going with C.
I can imagine what the pilgrims would wear as they...
Anybody else have a guess? One of the most expensive punch bowls ever.
I'm going to go with B because I did not hear all of the question. I was reading something else at the time.
Oh. Which of those are a National Historic Landmark? Birthplace of Saran Wrap. I don't remember what B was all of a sudden. And
the first Claire's store.
First what?
Claire's store.
First Claire's store. And Fresno landfill. All right, here we go.
No, it's actually C, the Fresno, California Municipal Sanitary Landfill on the National Historic Landmark list. It was the first modern landfill in the U.S. Here's your next question. One of the newest landmarks designated in 2024 is the Kentucky birthplace of paleontology in North America, one of the first places where people started discovering fossils of ancient animals. What is it called? A, Dinosaur Hole, B, Big Bone Lick, or C, Jurassic Park?
I'm going to go with D.
You're going with Big Bone Lick? You're right.
Oh, wow.
Of course it's Big Bone Lick. Technically, the Bruins have won it 6 times, and there are, on average, 20 players on a team. So 120 bears, not beers.
Bruin is there.
Hundreds of years ago, pioneers and others discovered big
Player
bones
3,
there that
not
were from
buy
mastodons
again.
and other prehistoric fauna. And also, living animals came there to lick salt. So, Big Bone Lick. All right, here's your last question. If you get this right, you win. So be careful when you search for National Historic Landmarks online, because a Google search using AI told us that what is on the list of National Historic Landmarks? A, Babyland General Hospital, the fake hospital where Cabbage Patch Kids dolls are, quote, born. B, a tree Nicolas Cage hit with his car in 1987. or C, a 40-foot-high floating head of Daniel Boone?
C.
Whoa.
All the above.
I don't think it's
All of
Nicolas
the above.
Cage. I'm going to go with Cabbage Patch Kids.
You're right again, Philip.
Again.
Babyland General Hospital is a real place in Georgia where you can go and pretend to get a just-born Cabbage Patch Kid, but it is not, as far as we can tell, actually on the list of National Historic Landmarks.
It will be now.
I guess so.
Yes.
Also, how did Phil do in our quiz?
Phil, you get a wait trophy that you can keep for yourself. You're a winner today.
Yes! Take it home!
It's just a tote bag.
Phil Pritchad is the keeper of the Stanley Cup, which you can see teams vie for this year. And the NHL playoffs start on April 18th. And now you know what's at stake. It'll be exciting for you. Phil Pritchad, thank you so much for joining us on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Phil. Take care.
He was born in Big Beaver by the border.
And now, panel, it is time, once again, for the game we call
The Trump Dump.
Oh.
Some
All right.
weeks, news from the Trump administration comes out faster than you can say 20.
Are we ready for this?
You turned it up just a hair.
Sure. I've already realized that I've not kept track, so.
All right. This is true or false. This is going to be a true or false round.
Yeah.
Say 25th Amendment. And what we do is we just collect it, round it up in one place, and we ask you about it rapid fire, true, false style. Get yours right, you get a point. You all ready to play?
Yeah.
Here we
Let's do
go.
it.
Alonzo, true or false? In a sermon at the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth read a Bible verse he said was from the book of Mark, when actually it was from the book of Ezekiel.
False.
It was from the book of Pulp Fiction.
It was from the movie Pulp Fiction. Dulce, true or false? When addressing reporters about the war, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent mistakenly referred to the Strait of Hormuz as the Strait of Vermouth.
True.
Right. Adam, true or false? A new biography of RFK Jr. says he once cut off a dead raccoon's penis on a family vacation to, quote, study it later.
True.
True.
That is true. Alonzo, according to the
I thought it was
biography,
going to be something different, a different
RFK
animal.
later wrote in his journal, quote, I was standing there cutting the penis out of a road-killed raccoon, thinking about how weird some of my family members have turned out to be.
True.
I'm going to go with true.
You're right again, Dulce. True or false, Donald Trump was criticized for skipping Iran negotiations to watch a UFC fight with Vanilla Ice.
False.
True.
That is true. And Adam, true
I
or
thought it
false,
was with
after
somebody
the fight,
else.
Donald Trump told the winner, you're the toughest fighter I've ever seen. I bet you could beat Iran all by yourself, unquote.
True.
No, that is false. He said to the fighter, quote, you could be a model. You look so good. You're too good looking to be a fighter. You're some fighter. You're a beautiful guy.
You know the disembodied raccoon penis?
Yes, I do.
Is that what we're supposed to take instead of Tylenol?
Probably. And that's it for this week's Trump Dump.
Wow.
We'll be back with another edition before you know it and before you want it.
Yeah.
Now, panel, some questions about the week's news for you. Adam, 2 pilots were scolded this week after air traffic controllers at National Airport in D.C. heard what coming over the radio from the cockpit?
True.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, by any chance, be the sound of like a cat meowing.
Yes, indeed. Meowing
That's 3 for 3.
and barking.
Yep.
Air traffic control in D.C. heard meowing and barking coming from an active cockpit out there on the tarmac. But there were no pets on the airplane. It was the pilots doing the meowing and barking. Air traffic told them they needed to be more professional, and this is true. In reaction, the pilots barked and meowed even more. And things got even worse when the pilots got the zoomies.
That's a small space.
This was recorded, and so the air traffic control was then heard telling the pilots, and this is true, this is why you still fly a regional jet. Major air traffic control diss, man.
That is shade.
That is cold.
God.
That is cold.
Not the American Eagle.
They could have tagged it
That's a
with
low
Sports Spirit
ceiling.
Airlines.
That's true.
That plane only got 30 seats, and we know why.
When they said that, did the pilot start growling?
Anyway, for those interested in this, the pilots in the story are now available for adoption at your local D.C. restaurant.
Oh, that was brilliant. Ah. I thought you had something to say there, Kat.
There was a response made by some Air Force personage, Air Force historian, to this story, and everybody going, "That's wild. You know, pilots should be way more dignified, way more this." And he shared a picture from World War II, of someone that was flying a test aircraft, dressed up as a gorilla smoking a cigar. And he spent most of his career with that test aircraft buzzing normal planes and waving at them as a gorilla, and had an entire base convinced that there was a flying gorilla.
It's a gorilla, la 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 la.
If you're talking about how pilots should be more professional and dignified, just listen to anything Buzz Aldrin said on the flight to the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, also,
could he fire me?
met a flyboy? I mean, just when they're walking through the concourse through the airport, yeah, they are supposed to look all dignified and crap. But
Yeah.
like, have you ever met one? Dude, no. They are insane. Okay.
Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
This is Tracy Clark Johnson.
Hello, Tracy Clark Johnson. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Richmond Hill, Georgia.
Wow. Where is Richmond Hill?
So Richmond Hill is about 30 minutes from Savannah, Georgia, and I was there at the Johnny Mercer Theater recently and saw you guys live.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad we were there just recently. Had a great time. Well, welcome back, I guess, then, Tracy. Alzo Slade is going to read for you 3 news-related limericks with the last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly in 2 of the limericks, you'll be a winner. You ready to play?
I am ready to play.
Let's do it. Here's your first limerick.
On our dates, we get down on all fours. That's because we are scrubbing the floors. We do laundry and shop, clean the windows and mop. We get frisky by doing our
chores.
Yes, chores, the hot new trend in dating. It's choremance, where instead of going out, you stay home and do, quote, regular housework or daily life chores. Sounds boring? Okay. But have you ever felt the electricity of folding a fitted sheet with somebody new? Hands are everywhere. According to one psychologist, having a choremance is a good way to make mundane tasks more exciting. Okay, taxes
yes.
are a drag, but
Agree
choremance
that.
your taxes and they become an erotic adventure. Hey, honey, this is Charles Schwab. He just is going to watch.
You know, if you feel electricity with someone while folding laundry, just use one of those dryer sheets. It'll take all that
exactly. Also, you get...
I listen, I might be judged for saying this, but it's giving broke. It's giving broke. I'll go, listen, I love to go on a little, let's go shopping, we'll do like a little, run an errand that doesn't consist of me cleaning your home. I just got here.
Right. I mean, I've been told sex is a chore before. Is that what they mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, people are...
Dulcie, we don't all have that Today Show money.
This is true.
Some of us are broke. Some of us have to do free stuff for a date.
Present themselves one way when they're on a date, but you see a different side of them when you're doing chores. You can even create special bonding moments, like when the man says, "Let's take it slow. It's my first time cleaning a bathtub." Here is your next limerick.
This protein-filled energy beltzer is refreshing when temperatures swelter. The bubbly cold drink comes in yellow and pink. Beyond Meat is now making a
seltzer.
Seltzer.
Yes, seltzer. If you love Beyond Burgers and Beyond Chicken, the fake meats, you're the kind of freak who's going to love Beyond Seltzer. The new sparkling beverage contains not only vitamins and electrolytes, but also 10 to 20 grams of pea protein. Incidentally, drink enough of this and you will also pea protein.
I've never been asked, would you like your water medium, rare?
I think.
What were you going to say?
Nope, we're good. We don't need that.
I think what happened is it was just like, okay, we got all this protein that we use to make the fake meat, right? We're not selling the fake meat, so we need to make drinks.
Right.
But I think there was some guy was like, well, seltzer's popular. This is like a real Crystal Pepsi situation.
Right.
It's like, well, seltzer's
Yeah, because that did so well.
Exactly.
Is this going to taste like hot dog water? Because
Yeah, it's
in
not
that
gonna
case, I'm in.
All right, here is your last limerick.
My sweet tooth has one holy grail. It's when seasonal candy's on sale. Some treats grow a crust that is really a must. I prefer to eat Peeps that are
stale.
Stale, yes. Easter has come and gone, but according to many candy lovers,
prefer
this
to eat
is
any
exactly when you
Peeps
want to
at
eat your
all.
leftover Peeps when they are stale. People say the candy is best when the outside has gotten crunchy, but the inside is still soft.
What?
Good. We have cured you of your cannibalism. You no longer eat Peeps.
It's still soft, just like a real bird.
Just move right along.
And if the word stale is kind of throwing you off, one Redditor said, quote, calling them aged is much fancier. It's true. That's why I always pair my 4-week-old Peeps with a 2020 bottle of Nesquik.
First of all, Peeps is nasty.
Yes.
Second, it's like, I've never understood the Peep, and you know now the Peep people was like, oh, we could do this other times of the year. So now they got July 4th Peeps.
Oh, really?
They got, they just put it.
Are they called We the Peeps?
Yes.
They're not! Idiots!
Also, how did Tracy do in our quiz?
You have to pronounce the full name, Tracy Clark Johnson.
Sorry, excuse me.
Got 3 out of 3. She's a winner.
Say the whole name.
Well done.
Thank you, sis!
Welcome, guys. Love y'all.
I peeped it.
Now on to our final game, Lightning Fill in the Blank. Each of our players will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many fill in the blank
All right,
questions as they can. Each correct answer now worth 2 points. Alzo, can you give us the scores?
Absolutely. Dulce is kicking butt with 5 points. Alonzo has 4, and Adam is pulling up the rear with 3.
Okay. All right, Adam, you're in third place, so you're up first. The clock will start when I begin your first question. Fill in the blank. According to a new poll, only 25% of Americans see the war with blank as a success.
Iran.
Right, on Sunday, Peter Magyar defeated Viktor Orban to become the next prime minister of blank.
Hungary.
Is it Turkey?
No, it's Hungary. I know. In order to highlight a city's
That was
failing
bad.
infrastructure, a politician in South Africa blanked.
Oh, didn't he, take a bath in a pothole or
You're
something?
based on what I'm giving you, he went snorkeling in a pothole. It was deep enough to snorkel in. This week, soccer fans were outraged over reports that train tickets to see a blank game in New Jersey may cost more than $100.
The World Cup.
Right, on Tuesday, looks-maxing influencer blank was admitted to the hospital for an apparent overdose.
I hate that I know this. Clavicular.
Yes, at an Easter celebration in South Korea, the man playing Jesus, who was supposed to be lifted 20 feet in the air by a crane at the climax, ended up blanking.
I saw this. He just kept going.
Yes, he ended up being flown into the air to the height of a skyscraper. In what might be the most amazing video anybody has ever seen, the man playing Jesus at an outdoor event, at the moment of his resurrection and ascent to heaven, starts to ascend from the stage and then pretty much actually goes to heaven. He just keeps going.
What was he attached to?
He was attached to a cable that was being held by, raised by
the
a crane.
Lord.
Yeah, by the Lord.
And everyone watching thought it was the rapture.
I promise that if you haven't watched the video, you're watching this and you're going, well, he can't keep going higher. He goes higher. Past the Artemis screw and the other way.
I did not see it.
Also, how did Adam do in our quiz?
He got 5 right for 10 points, total of 13.
All right. So, Alonzo, you are up next. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday, Russia conducted a large-scale drone strike against blank.
Ukraine?
Right. According to the IRS, this year's average blank refund is higher than last year.
Tax.
Right. This week, outbreaks of blank continued to spread throughout the country.
Measles?
Right. According to a new study, people taking weight loss drug blank reported it dulled their emotions.
Ozempic?
GLP-1?
Yeah, Ozempic and the like. This week, Toronto's CN Tower lit up periwinkle blue in honor of blank.
Oh, I don't know, Canada?
No, in honor of Irritable Bowel Syndrome Awareness Month.
How did I not know that?
Clearly, you weren't aware of it. On Thursday, health officials in the U.S. warned of a new blank-resistant bacteria.
Vaccine?
Well, I'll give it to you. Drug-resistant. According to a new study, blank song closely parallels the patterns of human speech.
Bird?
No, whale song. This week, a woman with a knee injury who was promised an empty row on her flight was surprised to find the seats filled and more surprised when one of her seatmates blanked.
Had a bad knee?
No, gave her a 30-minute foot massage. The unexpected,
Is that legal?
Apparently. The unexpected extra passenger, quote, noticed the woman tending to her hurt knee and insisted that she keep her leg up and began a 30-plus minute reflexology massage. So the next time you're annoyed when the person next to you in a flight wants to talk, just remember, it could be worse. Also, how did Alonzo do in our quiz?
He did all right. He got 5 right for 10 more points. He has now a total of 14 and the lead.
All right. So how many then does Dulce need to win?
She needs 5 to win.
Okay, Dulce, this is for the game. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday, a jury ruled that Live Nation and blank operated as a monopoly to dominate the ticketing industry.
True? What?
No, Live Nation and blank, another company.
Ticketmaster.
Right. On Tuesday, the Justice Department moved to dismiss the seditious conspiracy convictions against certain participants in the blank riot.
January 6th.
Right. This week, runners in the recent Milwaukee Marathon were surprised to discover that the designers of the medal they received had blanked.
Stolen the medal.
No, the designers of the medal they received had misspelled the word marathon on it. Following their historic mission to the blank, the crew of the Artemis II returned home this last week.
Moon!
Yes, this week the designers of a new Nintendo game said they spent a large part of the 9-year development cycle getting blank just right.
Their ramen recipe.
No, getting the fart sounds in the game just right. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, is this new cozy town simulator, kind of like Animal Crossing, except all the cute animals are just ripping ass all the time. Designers spent years working on the fart sounds, with most programmers worried they weren't cartoonish enough. There's still a little realism left in the final product, though anytime your character lets out a fart, they immediately say, that wasn't me. Also, did Dulce do well enough to win?
Nah, not really.
No.
She got 3 right for 6 more points, total of 11, which means Alonzo wins.
Congratulations, Alonzo Bowden, this week's champion. Now, panel, what's the next big Airbnb story in the news? Alonzo Bowden.
Airbnb on the moon.
Dulce Sloan.
Kid B&B, where you can adopt annoying kids left behind on vacation.
And Adam Burke.
They'll also start offering discount flights with a new company called Airbnb.
And if any of that happens, we'll ask you about it on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Alonzo Slade. Thanks also to Alonzo Bowden, Dulce Sloan, Adam Burke. Thanks to all of you for listening. Thanks to our fabulous audience here at the Studebaker Theater. Great to see you.
What was that?
I mean, given that you've got whichever flight.
They give you reservations for houses they do not own, so therefore it is now Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. What were you saying, Kat?
I was going to say that you've got those new lay-down seats in some of the airplanes, and they're going to start charging those like an Airbnb.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm gonna watch the Insta link as soon as I get through the end of the show, because I've got the last little bit of the thing that I do.
Yeah.
I'm Peter Sagal.
What was that?
I said I was agreeing with you. Yes, you do.
We'll see you next week.
Oh, they
From
cut it
NPR.
off.
Aww.
Oh.
I'm
Okay, now
sorry.
we'll watch the Insta link.
They have attached to a helicopter? Nope.
Oh, I see where it's
Terrible.
attached. I see the crate it's attached to.
The part that I'm finding hilarious is I just watched it without sound, but it's still with sound.
Hey,
like a small
stop
world.
fucking with Korean Jesus. He ain't got time for your problems. He busy with Korean shit.
And he was only supposed to go up 20 feet, and he went that high. Oh, he must have been so panicked.
He's a great actor. Because he just stayed in character the whole time. He's like, I'll just keep acting. Keep acting. They can't see the panic in your eyes because you are way too far away, so just keep gesturing.
Yep. I mean, at least he was dressed appropriately if he had to meet the real Jesus.
Right? Smile and wave, boys.
Yep.
Exactly. Well, all right. That was that was the game. I came in a distant last with 25 points. Kat nailed it with 34.
Honestly, it was the Trump dump round that helped the most.
Yeah. Yeah. And I so thought that the ones that I called false that were true were false on a technicality. I thought I caught something at the very end of that was like, oh no, it wasn't Vanilla Ice, it was
really
Kid
Vanilla,
Rock again. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also the bonus round, I missed a bunch on that. So, well, all right. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to be raiding out to the Sunday No Pants Raid Train hosted by Lockpick, and I believe it is currently DJ Margarita Mel spinning vinyl on the Sunday No Pants Raid Train. So, stick around for the raid. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Maddie Holmes. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you, Head Not Right. Thank you, Lockpick, of course. Thank you, Chris in the 386. I know you were in here. Thank you, Darth Dragonis, for being here. Am I missing anybody?
Lurkers.
Huh?
Always lurkers.
Well, yeah. I know, but I want to get everybody in chat first.
In chat.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody in chat, and thank you, all you lurkers. Much love to the lurkers. Stick around for the raid. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Now is the time on the show when I say 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces, we're out. And yes, they do say that around here.